Shabbat Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect, going into news and prophecy. All right, as there's so many things going on, all right, throughout the four corners of the earth, it's hard to keep up. All right, I've been on the move, but I finally settled, got a few things together. It's kind of, just spirit like the wind, just got a few articles, few videos together, but hopefully you brothers and sisters are edified and moved to repentance and fear and awe of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, as everything happening throughout the four corners of the earth is pointing, all right, towards the fact that this word is faithful and true. All right, as the Most High says, he put his word above his name, meaning he swore on himself that all of his words would come to pass. All right, so all of these prophecies, and the promises that were given unto Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the visions, that he gave the prophets, all right, if they don't come to pass, that would put and bring shame to his name. All right, so he is so faithful, all right, that he put his word, all right, on his name. All right, meaning that he's bound to these promises because he swore on himself. So he's bound to these promises coming to pass, because if they didn't, it would bring shame to his name. I plan on doing a video on that. All right, but again, Shabbat Shalom. Currently in the new moon, new month. The new moon came in last night at sundown. Okay, and that also marked the feast of the blowing of trumpets, the memorial of the blowing of trumpets. All right, which is a high holy day for us as Hebrew Israelites, where we acknowledge, all right, through the blowing of trumpets, that the Most High reigns supreme. Okay, and the priest would blow the trumpets, and this is also a preparation for the coming Day of Atonement. Okay, as we are called to remember, all right, the excellency of our power, and that he alone, all right, through his only begotten Son, reigns supreme and is in control, and that he's going to remember us in our troubles. And the Day of Atonement comes, I believe, September 11th, all right, at sundown, okay, which is a full day of fasting. All right, so from September 11th to September the 12th, that will be the Day of Atonement. All right, 10 days before the Day of Atonement, you usually have the memorial of the blowing of trumpets, which, let's get the book of Psalms 98. As you can see here, this new moon is heavy. It's a heavy time. It also marked the memorial of the blowing of trumpets. Okay, and we're in some heavy times where we're calling on our power to deliver us. But as you can see, what comes next, some days down the line, is a supermoon eclipse and a ring of fire. Okay, which is a fulfillment of what's written in the book of Luke. All right, and the book of Joel, that there will be signs in the heavens. All right, foretelling the times that we're in. All right, that ultimately the Lord is getting ready to make way on his promise. Now, this is the book of Psalms 98 and 4. It says, "Make a joyful noise unto Yahweh, all the earth. Make a loud noise and rejoice and sing praise." And we're doing that through, doing these videos, going out to the highways and the byways. Okay, we are calling, all right, on the world to remember Yahweh. Okay, and, within that, we know that repentance is only granted, all right, to the elect of the nation of Israel. They're the only ones that are going to fully repent and get it. All right, but a trumpet had to be blown before that judgment went out. A joyful noise, giving praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, by Hashem, in the name of his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who was our mediator, our access to that power. Okay, and, as this earth has been void of any truth, all right, here in these latter days, the Lord has raised us up to make a joyful noise unto Yahweh. All right, verse 5 says, sing unto Yahweh with the harp and a voice of song. All right, and we know that the harp can be used. It's a very important, instrument in our culture. Okay, and it can be used to rid demons off of people, going back to King David. Okay, when he played the harp, when Saul had those spirits on him, it ultimately took the spirits off of him. So we're singing unto Yahweh with the harp, and for the elect, okay, the demons are being rid. All right, they're becoming more and more, clear on what's happening. They're calling on the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Okay, and we're singing the new song. The scriptures tell you in Psalms 40:3 that the new song being sung would lead to many fearing and trusting in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So sing unto Yahweh with the voice of the harp. All right, with the harp, with the harp and voice of a psalm. All right, this new song is fulfilled, and all of that. It says that with trumpets. All right, and sound of cornet make a joyful noise before the Lord, the King. Now, when you get Isaiah 58, Salakia, it's a little early. I haven't really got rest, but the Spirit's upon me to do this lesson. This is the book of Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions and the house of Jacob their sins. Okay, as we go into the Day of Atonement, okay, one of the things that we are warning our people is to, put away their evil doings, okay, and keep the laws to the best of their ability through the faith in who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Learn what true love is. Understand his sacrifice and the importance of his blood to your life. See, that's the joyful noise, man. Isaiah 61. All right, giving our people the truth of the matter, man, and only the elect are gonna, take hold to it. But it says, with trumpets and sound of cornet, make a joyful noise before Yahweh the King. This word trumpet in the Hebrew is, oh boy, it says cha tazah tazah ra. All right, trumpet, clarion, which is a very important instrument in our culture. Chatazar. All right, chatazar, the sound of a trumpet. All right, so, and this is all symbolic of us singing this new song, because when you go to the book of Numbers, the 10th chapter, all right, and we'll get into the articles and all of that. When you get Numbers, the 10th chapter, where you can find this holy day. Just to get to the point, Numbers 10:8, and the sons of Aaron, the priest, shall blow with the trumpets, and they shall be to you for an ordinance forever throughout your generations. Okay, and we're no longer under the Levitical priesthood, right? So the priesthood, as it says in the book of 2 Peter, all right, we are a spiritual priesthood, offering up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High through Yahweh Shai. Okay, so each tribe, all right, under the true high priest in the heavens, all right, the men can now serve as priest, and we are blowing the trumpets, okay, in this generation. All right, but it's all being fulfilled in a spiritual sense. It says, and if you go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresseth you, then ye shall blow with an alarm with the trumpets. All right, and we're in that time. All right. There's particular trumpets that you blow for particular, times. All right. And we're in the time, as the scripture said, the time of war. Now, ultimately, we're not fighting a physical war. We're fighting a spiritual war. As the scriptures say, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. We're living in a time where our enemy, Esau, Edom, and all of the heathen are setting up laws and legislation in the system to make, all right, particular talking points associated with praising the Lord, all right, illegal. And they're doing it by people that they set up, all right, which are all pawns in their game. They're doing it in a very slick and sly way to come after this word so that this trumpet can't be blown, okay? Because this sacrifice that we're offering up, okay, is, gives us a connection with our power. That sacrifice is always how the Israelites sing in the songs, all right, and offering sacrifice and all of those things were always associated with our connection with our power, how he heard us. You see, well, that's all happening now, all right, as we're scattered. We're no longer physically in Jerusalem to do these things, but as we've been scattered under the true high priest, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, we can fulfill these things. So it says that if you go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresseth you, then ye shall blow with an alarm, all right, with the trumpets. You shall blow an alarm with the trumpets. Okay, and a lot of you Israelites are singing, all right, or blowing an uncertain sound. Here it is, we're in a time of war, but you're blowing the trumpet, all right, to feast, to party, to have a good time, to, do all of the things that are not conducive to the times. And ye shall be remembered before the Lord your God, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. So ultimately, I just wanted to get that out of the way to show you, all right, we are fulfilling, all right, this ordinance in this generation when we go out to the highways and the byways and when we do these videos, man. Okay, ultimately, as it says in Psalms, all right, look at this one, Psalms 47:5. God is going up with a shout, the Lord Yahweh with the sound of a trumpet. All right, but it says in Psalms 98:6, with trumpets and sound of cornet make a joyful noise, because that's what the priest would do. Okay, the priest was like a choir, man. Okay, that's one of the first things David set up, all right, was that, that choir of priests, Levites, who would sing praises unto the Lord, as he wrote, his thoughts down or whatever. All right, but now that's fulfilled in us with trumpets and sound of cornet make a joyful noise before the Lord, the King. All right. Now, let's get I believe it's Psalms 36. There we go, Psalms 33. Sing unto him, Psalms 33:3, a new song, play skillfully with a loud noise. And we have to play skillfully. Okay, for the word of Yahweh is right, and all his works are done in truth. Okay, so the memorial of the blowing of trumpet is associated, all right, with the new song in a sense, all right, and it has to be played skillfully, all right. This is why our apostles and elders are so, all right, focused on sound doctrine, man. But we are living in a time where the Lord is clearly getting ready to come through for us, as everything happening is linked to end time prophecy. This is what any teacher of the Bible should be able to do right now, because the Lord is dealing with the prophets, man. Okay, those who are sent here to tell you the reality of what's happening and why and what's to come. Okay, the Heavenly Father has set up that spiritual priesthood to offer up those sacrifices, all right, and things like the memorial of the blowing of trumpet. That was important to our culture. Well, now it's fulfilled in what we're doing. And as you can see, the new moon that we're in is setting up, all right, a super moon eclipse in a ring of fire, man. All right, it says go look for the moon today and you won't find it because it's a new moon. The new moon is a dark moon. Okay, but as you can see, all right, the new moon came in last night. It says, but what but it's what it sets in motion that makes it special. So this new moon that we're in, okay, which is also the memorial of the blowing of trumpets, all right, which is, I believe, 10 days, about 10 days before the Day of Atonement, right? It is setting in motion a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse, okay? Basically a ring of fire, okay, while the coming of the full moon, all right, because 2 weeks after the new moon is the full moon, all right, they're gonna have a harvest moon, a ring of fire will drift into the yada yada yada. But and you could look more into that, all right. But ultimately, just to get into the scriptures and to get the lesson moving forward, let's get the book of Luke, all right, the 21st chapter and the 25th verse, because this marks the end of the time of the Gentiles, all right, where Jerusalem will be trodden down into the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. We're living at the time of the Gentiles being fulfilled. And that ends with Esau's rulership, Esau's world. Okay? Luke 21 and 25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon. This is all before the return of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right? It shall be signs in the suns and in the moon. All right? And in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations. Distress of nations, man. All right, let's get into some examples. Let's look up this word distress real quick. Okay, distress of nations. The word distress is sunuke, holding together, narrowing, all right, metaphorically of straits, distress, and anguish. And these are the times that people are living in. Anxiety. Okay, people are having anxiety attacks, which they're trying to blame on the global, that warming thing, right? They're saying that's causing the earth, the atmosphere, the environment is all messed up. It's causing people to go crazy. Well, really what's causing people to go crazy is iniquity abounding, all right? The juicy jab, okay? The Capri Sun, right? That people, allowed, the people are bugging out, dropping dead. Okay, the people are in distress. Okay, uproars of the people everywhere you go. You look, you see people in uproar, mad about the situation, pissed off at their governments. Okay, as a matter of fact, this is an example of the distress of the nations. Okay, and perplexity where people are lacking resources, man. Nambia to kill over 700 wild animals to feed its people amid severe drought and famine. Now, with all of the resources in the planet Earth, why are people still starving? It's the system set up, all right, that limits access to these goods because it's an unjust system. So animals set to be killed: 83 elephants, 30 hippos, 60 buffaloes, 50 impalas, all right, 100 blue wildebeest, 300 zebras, 100 elands. Over 175 animals have already been culled in the African country, yielding about 63 tons of meat. So there's no form of food these people can get. Again, this is an unjust system, and we know, all right, what the Edomites and the Moabites are over there in Nambia doing. Okay, how they conquered and destroyed, all right, these African countries, man. Okay, so and none of this is lawful. Okay, I'm pretty sure some Jakes over there, but those are complete heathen. Okay, but it's Jake over there too. But as you can see, the stress of the people, man. Okay, talking about eating elephants, man. Okay, and over here in the Americas, I want to play this video real quick. Let's see here. Over here in the Americas, I'll get back to this one. The video I was just watching is hilarious.
We have things.
Listen to this Edomite. This is hilarious, man. Pissed. The white people are calling for unity against inflation in the U.S. We told y'all these Edomites was going to start to, call for you Jakes to unite with them against the elites. But let's read this again. Okay, because we're all catching hell. All right, but it's just beautiful to see, prophecy live, man. All of these people are through. And Jake is used to catching hell. So we used to working with the little bit we got and getting by. But these Edomites are losing it, man. Okay? Luke 21:25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and up on the earth, distress of the nations with perplexity, the sea and waves roaring. Now this word perplexity, as we always show you. All right. Perplexity, man. Okay. Aporia, a state of one who is in perplexity. The root word, to be without resources, to be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt, to not know which way to turn. And this is what prophecy says would happen. Real quick, 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter, in the 18th verse, it says, and it said, behold, the days come where I'll begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell on the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them, all right, what they be that have done unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. So the affliction of Zion is being fulfilled. We all have our particular hell that we're catching. We're all being tested in our own little ways. All right, but that's all right. All right. Hey, that's happening so that we're not judged with the world, man. And the scriptures tell you both the righteous and the wicked are going to suffer straight things. But our hope is for the wide. They don't have any hope. Their hope is that the powers that be, all right, become lenient and chill out. They're not going to stop. They're only going to keep going till they have your soul on the grid, man. And a charagma in your ass. Okay? It says, and so the affliction of Zion, the true Israelites, the word Zion means monument. All right. It could also mean, a memorial, something to remember. It could also mean a parched place. And what do you do with a parched place? You pour water in it. All right. And the Lord has poured water upon his elect in these latter days via the Holy Spirit. That's what the Holy Spirit is, the spirit of understanding. Okay. That guides us, all right, into the truth. All right. And to make the decisions needed, okay, to fulfill the works of the elect so we can get the hell up out of here. And when the world shall begin to vanish away, Esau's world, all right, and shall be finished. This world is finished. All right. We can clearly see, all right, that this world is finished, man. Okay. Then it goes into particular things, but the word will be given, man. Verse 22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall be found empty. Okay, and I believe I have an article going into that where let's see, boom, all right, where you have more restaurants in America going into bankruptcy. Okay, and that's what the shutdowns in 2020. It was for this. Eventually, all of these particular, restaurants are going to be gone, okay, into bankruptcy. The economy's all jacked up, all right, and your access to food, your access to, things to do, all of that is going to be taken away from you, all right, because they're setting it up, all right, for the NWO. But we'll get into that. But the sown places are appearing unsown. The full storehouses are being found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth it, he shall be suddenly afraid. And the trumpet is given is the prophets going out, giving that sound, okay, ultimately bringing out the truth of the matter, man. And what that leads to is things taking place on the planet Earth, man. And at that time shall friend fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. So this is where we are. Okay, this is where we are, where people are in perplexity, man. Okay, straits. As a matter of fact, let's get Isaiah 19 and 17. I'll read this in the NLT. It says, just to speak the name of Israel will terrorize them, for the Lord of heaven's army has laid out his plans against them. All right. So you're going to have Jake, all right, both on the left hand, flared up, but on the right hand, those of us on the highways and the byways, these people are getting ready to lose their mind because of this message, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts. Okay? Isaiah 19:17, and the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Okay? And of course, you're going to have the 2/3 losing their mind, but the Hebrew Israelites are always going to be associated with black. All right, the black Hebrew Israelite. They love to throw that out there because once you put black behind something, the world knows, all right, this is some BS, right? And they can target you and manipulate the media and it's an accusation. All right, but everyone that's gonna and everyone's talking about the Israelites too, because there's getting ready to be an assault from our own people first, and then Esau, Edom against the men of the Lord. So the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, all right, which ye have determined against Babylon. Okay, and again, Egypt, as you read here, Isaiah 19:16, okay, and 15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Economic collapse. And that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord, which he shaketh over it. So they're afraid because these prophecies are coming to pass. Okay, as we were reading in Luke, okay, these people are without resources. They're in straits. They're left wanting. They're embarrassed. They don't know which way to turn. And here's an example of that with this Edomite.
And going, Mom, this was $70. We didn't even get anything. Yeah, I know, kid. And he doesn't even remember a time when you could get a 2-bedroom apartment in a decent area of town for $600 a month. Now a 1-bedroom apartment in a mediocre part of town is $2,000 a month. Gas is $5.49 a gallon. It cost me $65 to fill up my tank. Before COVID, my grocery bill per month was $350. Now it's $600 a month, and I buy the exact same amount of groceries. This shit is out of control. What does the bourgeoisie think that the outcome of this is going to be? They cannot possibly believe that extracting every last dime out of the working class by inflating all of the prices and paying us poverty wages is a sustainable economic model. And the thing is that I could be mad at the bourgeoisie all day long, but they are doing exactly what is expected. They are greedy sociopaths. This is what they do. I am more mad at Americans because instead of uniting against this common enemy who is robbing us blind, we are fighting over whether or not drag queens can read books to children. At what point are we going to stop taking this shit lying down, put our foots down, and say, fuck this, and not allow it anymore?
Yeah, they're mad. The working class. These are going to be the people that take to the streets. Okay? The working class. But she's calling for, a united America. It's over. It's too late, man. This place ain't going to be healed. You see?
We cannot even afford to live in this country. We can't even afford to die in this country.
Damn.
The Republican Party is bought and paid for by the same greedy sociopaths who are robbing you, me, and our families blind every day. They are manipulating you into believing that they are going to save you from the problems that they created in your life. They have not walked a single inch in your working class shoes. They have no idea the struggle that you and I go through every day in this economy just to feed our families and keep them safe. They are gaslighting you into believing that I am your enemy so that you're distracted while they continue to do their dirt behind your back because they know that if you knew what they were doing, you wouldn't vote for them anymore. Why are you listening to them? The Democratic Party, with the exception of a very small few, is filled with weak and spineless politicians who placate to everyone just so that they can get reelected because they want to maintain some semblance of power in Congress. Why are you placing all of your faith and hope in this party to save us?
Both parties are full of shit. Okay? But we the Israelites, we ain't getting involved in that. That's y'all fight. Good luck.
Your religious leaders are funded by the same corporate sponsors who have bought your politicians, and they are weaponizing your faith against you so that you are distracted by a made-up enemy, your game.
Yeah, she's right, in a sense. Okay? But at the end of the day, she's wrong. She's through. She's hurt.
A neighbor or your liberal coworker. so that you are not paying attention to the extreme financial crimes that they are committing against all of us right under your nose. In the richest country in the world, 500,000 people are homeless when there are more than enough homes to house them, and millions of children are hungry or food insecure, having their one free meal taken away from them at school. 10-year-olds are being forced to bear the child of their rapist. People are rationing their insulin and dying because they cannot afford health care. The water's polluted, the air is polluted, the soil is devoid of nutrients because we have oversaturated it in pesticides. We're not going to be able to grow our own food in the coming decades. The planet is literally dying. And they are putting hotels up in space and telling you that they can't afford to pay you a living wage, and you are believing them. This period is going to go down in the history books as one of the most epic failures that America ever allowed to happen.
No, in the future, America's going to be gone. And America will be remembered as a memorial of rebellion against Yahweh Bashim Yashai. And what happens? Okay, the future generations are going to know that following the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yashai is the better way. And that this whole system needed to be destroyed. They're going to understand the great destruction that came to this place, man. Because look at all of the hell that it brought. The scriptures tell you about the red horse that took away peace from the earth. This is the result of Esau's rulership. Okay?
Generations are going to study this time in history and ask themselves, why did they not do anything? How could they not see? And if you're sitting behind your phone right now and thinking to yourself, it's not me, it's those goddamn weirdo trans kids, then you are the people that they will be talking about.
All of y'all need to shut
I think we might be living at our in-laws' house until, we get old and gray, because the housing market is absolutely ridiculous. It's so sad because back in the day, you're able to just go to school, get a good job, get married, be able to buy a house, start a family, and possibly be able to stay part-time at home, even with the children to help raise them. Now it's like, no, you get married, where are you living? Maybe we're going to live in a shoebox. Maybe we're going to be homeless living on the street, because why is a one-bedroom, one-bath like $800,000? Like, I'm just trying to wrap my head around how things are going right now, because it's like, it's pretty
charging that much for rent. My downstairs neighbor paid exact same floor plan that I have. I signed my lease in January, and I know there's going to be people that's like, that's cheap or that's expensive, but whatever. 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,100 square feet. I pay $1,639 before they add stuff. But my base rent is $1,639. After everything, it's $1,715. That's what I pay every month. For $22.47.
This morning, I read that if your parents make $100K 40 years ago in 1983, then you'd have to make $292,000 in 2023 just to have the same purchasing power adjusted for inflation. $300K is the new $100K.
Talk about Halloween, talk about horror, talk about scary. 80% of Americans have run out of money. Okay, the Federal Reserve just published a study stating that only 20% of the richest Americans still have excess savings after the pandemic. And the other 80% have less cash on hand than... I will never be able to afford a house. Home prices are $100,000. My children will never be able to have the life I live because I can't afford to do it.
I don't think any of us thought when we were growing up that owning a home would be a luxury. Like maybe we thought it would be a bit difficult, but not like a luxury that basically only the rich will be able to afford.
No one that works a full-time job should be facing homelessness. And
here because there's nothing left here but struggle.
Days when somebody can't to live well, just to live.
And it's like I woke up all of a sudden and my insurance is doubled, food is fucking tripled, gas is so expensive, electric bill over double, my fucking rent went up. I can't be the only one that's drowning.
Everybody is going through this bullshit. Everyone can't go to...
Boom. And that speaks to what we're reading. Okay? That perplexity would strike these people. Economic collapse would be taking place. Okay? So these signs in the sun and the moon that we're seeing, okay, it's letting us know that we're close to getting the hell up out of here, man. Men's hearts failing them, Luke 21:26, and after looking upon those things which are coming upon the earth, for the powers of earth shall be shaken. So all of these things are going to be taking place before the coming of our Lord, man. All right, but what did the Lord say about the elect? They're going to eat. Okay? They're going to eat, man. While all of these crazy things are taking place, the Lord is going to sustain his elect. All right? And ultimately, all right, as we go through the straight gate, we'll keep our integrity. Now, let's go back, all right, to so much. There's so much happening, man. Okay, well, we may as well... Let's see here. May as well...
In a world where...
Go into the charagma, right, real quick, before we get into these other articles.
In a world where AI-enhanced individuals might perform tasks more efficiently, those without implants could struggle to compete in the job market. Certain professions might require implants as a prerequisite, creating barriers for those who refuse them. The refusal to adopt AI implants might widen the economic gap, as enhanced individuals could command higher salaries and dominate leadership roles. This might force non-enhanced people into lower-paying, less prestigious jobs. However, there could be niches or industries that cater specifically to those without implants, potentially creating alternative economic systems or markets that value non-enhanced skills and perspectives. What do you think about AI chip implants? Let us know in the...
Well, here we are. And again, that charagma is coming. People who, bow the knee will have, access to more opportunity, this and this and that, which is all a fallacy because it's going to lead to a high-level digital enslavement. Now, I also wanted to go into this. All right.
Think about it. 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 What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. Peace and blessings to all my...
This was posted about, let's see, 4 months ago, but let's just get to the point. This is crazy, man. And this dude be going off, or he's rebellious, but he brings out some decent information.
Worse, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is continuing its global push to support its so-called government-backed digital ID programs, and this time setting its sight on Kenya, where it will advise the government on that country's Maisha Namba digital ID initiative that is currently under development. So, according to a Kenyan news agency, Gates' role is assisting the Kenyan government in its development, and the rollout of Maisha Namba was announced after a recent series of closed-door meetings with Kenyan President William Ruto. According to Biometric Update, Maisha Namba is supposedly expected to address different challenges, such as identifying and authenticating citizens, safeguarding primary registration documents such as birth certificates and national identity cards, and improving the management of the...
So the birth certificate in Kenya, which we know they always go to Africa to, use them as guinea pigs for many of their, creations and inventions, which Yahweh Shah is going to rebuke this stupid plan. But, all right, digital IDs, all right, which we know will eventually be linked to the micro C-hip, okay, are ultimately going to be the new form of birth certificate, okay?
Social programs and government operations. The project has been met with skepticism in some parts of the country. Rights groups have also been expressing concern over the possibility of discrimination and the erosion of privacy. But listen, I just told you in a very nice way. Now let me just put it blatantly to you. The program targets the birth of new babies. So once you have your baby, before your baby leaves the hospital, you no longer get a paper birth certificate, but then you get a digital one that is somehow implanted somewhere on somebody's body. Think about that, but have a listen to this.
And all of these leaders, as the scriptures say, have committed fornication with the beast. And they're bringing their people over to this system. All of the heathens are down with this as well. All right, but they just don't agree on a lot of things going forward into this new world, which is why there's going to be war. But here we are. You could tell this is a complete Sambo Kenyan Hamite. All right. He's selling his people out to this system. See, and when you have particular leaders who say no to these agendas, say no to Esau, Edom, and these heathen bringing these things over, all right, which Moab got their hand in a lot of this too, they off them. They'll just mysteriously die. See, and then they'll set up someone who will allow these particulars to be put on their people. So we need Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. Because how are we going to get out of this? Because again, very soon, the leaders over here in the West, which are all in league with the elites set up, all right, they're all puppets. They're going to be telling you, you got to do these same things, man. And what are you going to do? Okay?
The digital ID, which has been a big problem to us, for a very long time, is now on a testing mode for the next 2 months. I have been assured by all the stakeholders, led by the ministries concerned, that by December, we will be able to launch digital ID, where every Kenyan don't have to carry any paper, plastic or otherwise, as an ID, that they should be able to be identified digitally using their iris or their fingerprints, and we can transact without the necessity of people struggling to identify who they are.
So yeah, IDs are in a way, birth certificates, social security card, all of that. That system is outdated. It's leading to, all kind of, mishaps, identity theft, which they're allowing. Now I'm going to save you. All right. They're going to put your leaders in front of you to tell you we can be saved from all of those mishaps by buying into this new system, man. Okay. This, you mean to tell me this has nothing to do with what John the Revelator saw in Revelation, the 13th chapter?
And the proudest part of it is that we don't have to spend the billions that we have spent on all the other manenos, as all of you know.
We're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein.
And this is not medical information. We just in the news, right? Gil Bates digital ID implant to Kenyans and youth is approved.
Kenya is in serious trouble. Now, for you to accept this, that means you're going to be completely surveilled and controlled. Think about it. So they have targeted the new babies, of course, even the ordinary citizens, the grown-ups, the young ones, the teenagers, and even the elderly ones will receive this digital ID. But they will then create a new generation where they'll be completely under this digital ID and they have no choice.
What do you think? Let me say this right here. Let me put it blatantly or bluntly. People say, well, what's the big deal, Go Black? I mean, hey, it's a digital ID. People don't have IDs. They're antiquated when it comes to their so-called technology.
Yeah, because they could say, well, the poor need this. If we set up this system, we can have a situation where the poor can be, good. We can give them aid. It's so many ways that they can, then you got the Elon Musk avenue. We can heal people with it. They're bringing this charagma is coming in our lifetime, man.
And just a quick way of identifying people. Au contraire, brothers and sisters. You see, I have an advantage than most people do because I have the so-called a mindset. Because I was in damn Erica, put the D in front of America, capitalize the E, damn Erica, for the majority of my life. I've served 20 years in the military, served in the intelligence and other commands that were there in the military. And I understand the way that they think. Yes, that's right. So when you talk about anytime a Western world wants to do anything with black folks, it's something that they're trying to advance for their own common good, not yours. So what is it? Well, we know that he says, the President Ruto says in Kenya, it'd be Irish, or fingerprint identification. Well, yes, that sounds innocent as much as we may believe. Of course, we have to use fingerprints, when we have to get visas coming into other countries. And some of you all who work in high security places may even have to use your eyes to enter in. But what is the downfall or the cons behind the very thing that you might think is so innocent? Well, Bill Gates said they shoot an identity ID within the baby. We know that the so-called Bible or the conspiracy theorists who are out here are talking about, the so-called Antichrist will be the chip, taking on the 666 image of the evil one, if you will. But let's go further than that.
See, he wants to go further than what's laid out in the scriptures, and that's the scriptures doesn't tell you the Antichrist is going to bring the in a roundabout way. Let's get Revelation 13. Okay, no, Revelation 13 ain't saying the anti-Messiah, which this is an anti-Messiah system, but what Revelation the 13th chapter is telling you is that this beast system we live in that started with the Greeks, all right, became very powerful through the Romans, was revived through the Renaissance period after the Western Roman Empire fell. At the very end of that system, all right, they would issue forth a mark, a charagma, okay, through miracles and messing with people's mind with their, politics and being the devil that they are. They would have a great military. They would force the image of ancient Rome upon you in various ways. That he's going to eventually cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand and their foreheads. And when you go to the word charagma that's used here, all right? y'all, I know y'all like, Dad, GMS be on this chip thing. Hey, you'll see. When it comes to pass, as it is coming to pass, you should be in awe. You should be appreciative of the labor, all right? The apostles, the bishops, and the elders, and us brothers who enter into their labors have been putting in to warn you of this. Why ain't your preacher talking about it? Charagma, all right? A mark stamped upon the forehead or the right hand is a badge of the followers of the anti-Messiah. And going back to the ancient system of marking through a brand or a tattoo to pledge your allegiance, that system is still here. Okay, to mark, put on horses. Why do you brand your horse? Okay, for identification. Okay, to know what stock it is, to know who's its owner. Okay, so that system, all right, it's a graven mark. It's an image. It's an idol. It's a physical thing that they're gonna come with, all right, and you're gonna have this in order to buy or sell in a world that they want. Okay, what more do you need to know? Why ain't you in awe with that? That's just not enough for a nigga, man. Let's see what his version of going deeper is. What's deeper than what we just read? That's the warning right there. That should let you know, oh, wow. What other book warned of it? What other philosophy? Did the Kemetic Egyptian gods, did they warn of this? Isis, Horus, King Rootin' Tootin', did any of them warn of this? Any of the prophets of Africa, ancient Egypt and all of that warned of this? No. An Israelite warned of this, man. Through the spirit and power of the Most High God, Yahweh, through his son, Yahweh Shai, man. Warned of this thousands of years before it came to pass. That is powerful, man. This is why we're blowing to the trumpet, all right, to remind the world that he is.
When you really think about it, putting a chip in someone we know is an identity that you just can't remove. It's there. It will always be there. But what if you decide that you just don't want to be identified? Matter of fact, what goes on that identification? What is on there that would be so interesting that Bill Gates and others would want to retrieve if something happens to you? Let me give you a scenario. Let's just say, because there are those out there who've already made mention that the melanin in our skin is highly desirable for the sake of many of them maintaining a youth. But let's go to the next place of this. I had to do some research and find out what is the child's birth rate per year in Kenya. To my amazement, it's 1.2 million children born per year. Now, you had to look up the so-called neonatal mortality rate, or the children that die. It's 3.36%. Now, you might say, 3% of baby deaths out of 1.2 million? That doesn't seem like a lot anyway. Oh, yes, it is. That's 40,300 and something children that die a year, and that's just Kenya.
All right, they want your soul, man, at the end of the day. They want all-out control. You can finish watching this video. Let's check this one out as well, going into the MOTB.
The cash flow at the...
This is Arrows of Indignation 144. Bishop Nate, please explain what's coming next with Bible scriptures. Because we believe in the Holy Scriptures. All that melanin and this and that. Yes, understanding that they do want what we possess. You got so-called white people injecting themselves with melanin. But the question is, where the hell are they getting it from? Then it goes to show you all these missing people. I was just reading an article, over 300,000 children are missing at the border. So yeah, they got a lot of wickedness going on, but this charagma will give them godlike power. You see, control over the soul. I mean, it's so many ways they can go with it. Buying and selling is just one aspect. Okay, but check this out.
The cash flow at the fair is low, and now you know. We have our reverse ATMs here at the main gate. We have 2 of them. What people can do is with a minimum of $10 cash, they can put their money in. In return, you'll get a prepaid Visa card. It can be used to buy tickets and even parking. It's all part of the fair being cashless, but not everyone is in favor.
I'm older and I'll always use cash. I believe in cash. It doesn't get compromised. You're good.
So many things have changed. I'm from the generation where you use cash. Everybody uses credit cards now. I still use cash, even though I have a credit card.
And the prepaid cards that can be used not just at the fair, but anywhere. The fair's director says that this makes the process easier and more accessible, but others would disagree.
That sounds like a lot, honestly. But, I mean, if you had to do it, I guess it's the fair, you have time, so sure.
Food and Beverage Department going to transition to a cashless pay system. Policy is going to apply to all food stands throughout the zoo. However, the Cat House Cafe is going to still accept cash payments. The zoo says they're making the change because only a small percentage of the transactions actually involve cash.
So you know all that cash that you have? Well, I hate to say it, but it's no longer accepted. Many businesses have decided to go away from cash. They're going cashless, and this is hurting many Americans. Now, today I want to break down a story that's not actually happening here in the U.S., but many people are concerned that this is just a matter of time before many companies, even states, and even the federal government is going to decide that cash is a thing of the past, and now it's time to go cashless. So today I want to break down what's going on, how this is going to impact us in the future, why many businesses say going with cash is actually a bad idea. So the story that I want to bring you today, it's actually out of the UK. It's this one right here. Tesco bans cash transactions across UK in huge store shakeup. Says the supermarket chain claims the move will cut customer waiting times and improve shopping experiences.
So there was a point where these were all rumors, but rumors eventually in the form of prophecies going out. Okay, because we've been reporting these things as rumors, Jeremiah 51, for years, right? Jeremiah 51. All right. Out of there. This place is through, man. Let's see here. Is it 50? Jeremiah 51 and 44, 144, call hello, Yahweh Shem Yahshua. I will punish Baal in Babylon. These different ideologies, that it's all linked to Satanism. This is the place we live in. And I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he swallowed up. The sinner is not going to escape with his spoils. And the nations shall not flow together anymore unto him. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. All right. That bricks, which I just saw Turkey is talking about joining BRICS. The nations are looking for a way to opt out of being subject to the dominance of the U.S. dollar, okay, which they're crashing the dollar, okay? I mean, everywhere you look, real quick, you're seeing something, all right, leading towards the point where they're getting ready to just do away with paper money. As you saw this thing with J.P. Morgan, Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo allegedly reaped billions of dollars on back of misled customers' lawsuits. So basically, as you can see here, Chase bank glitch allowed customers to withdraw up to 40K with fake checks. Okay, so again, they're allowing all of these mishaps. Okay, people was able to put a fake check into the system and withdraw, all right, thousands of dollars, man. Okay, one man withdrew nearly 40K from an ATM after depositing 2 fraudulent checks. So this is what leading to, again, insecurity. The people can lose money out of their accounts. They're systematically collapsing the system. Everywhere you look, you're seeing this kind of situations that are going to give them the ability and the reason, all right, to pass a decree, which they've already wrote to say, look, we need to do away with this system, man. We need to do away with paper money. All right, we need to shut down more banks. Everything needs to go digital to draw you in, okay, to that system. Okay? Other TikTok said they were approved for large loans at ATMs, allowed to. They're allowing that. They're doing this on purpose. Okay? Just check this out. Hell no. And Jake, you know, Jake do the skits. Let's see if I can get the. How do I get the? Hold on. Here, people, you go to your account, right? It's 31,000 negative. I didn't even look at mine. Like, F it, man. We'll see.
Fuck, man. They really told me to tap in. Next day I was supposed to clear and look at my account, yo.
Everything's a joke to Jake. But you just wait to see how Jake go be looking in the days to come. Oh, man. Tripping, man.
And I need you, and I miss you, and now I wonder, and you know I walk 1,000 miles, just say you.
And they have no idea what this is leading to. You just wait till they ban paper money. You just wait till they tell you these are the stipulations of how you buy and sell. So a glitch in Chase's bank system, all right, which all of these banks are going under. Okay, you know, people weren't able to get money. People went into your account. You know, let me go to the account. I'm gonna go get $40 out of the ATM. We can go eat. You look, you know, for negative 50K. Come on, man. People are suing. Yeah. So these things are all through the spirit being done on purpose, man. Okay? Fears are swirling that the U.S. dollar is on the verge of total collapse, setting Bitcoin price, all right, for a critical tipping point. And Donald Trump said that he wanted to make America. Let's look, see if I can find that. What did he say? He wanted to make it a hub of, how did he say it? Let's see. He wanted to make, there you go. There we go. There we go. Donald Trump vows to turn America into the crypto digital of the planet. Donald Trump wants to make America the crypto capital of the planet as a part of his 2024 campaign. Okay, he's backing a new DeFi project called World Liberty Financial, pushed by his sons. The former president plans to create a Bitcoin stockpile and boost U.S. Bitcoin mining. All right, this afternoon I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet. Okay? Which they allowed you know, the regular people to play around with the crypto for a minute, and, you know, it was off the grid, it was away, but Esau got his hands in that. That was all a setup. They gonna control all of this shit, man. Okay?
This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet. They want to choke you. They want to choke you out of business. We're not going to let that happen.
Yeah, here we are. If Bitcoin is going to the moon, Trump also plans on turning the U.S. into a Bitcoin mining powerhouse. He talked about boosting domestic mining operations to make America the global leader of Bitcoin mining If Bitcoin is going to the moon, I want America to be a nation that leads the way. So what about paper money? What is this going to lead to? All right, is Trump, is he a savior? Is he going to save y'all from this? Okay. Hey, well, the scriptures tell you about this. In the book of, let's get Zephaniah, the first chapter, in the 11th verse. It says, "Howl, ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off." All right, the stock market. They're going to crash the dollar. Okay, those who are into investments, all that's going to be taken from you, man. Okay, Jake is already at the bottom of the totem pole. Okay, but they're not prepared to understand why these things are happening. And this is why the Lord is getting ready. He's getting ready to send judgment before all of this happens. Okay, and it shall come to pass that I will search Jerusalem, Israel, with candles, and punish the men that will settle on their leaves, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, nor will he do evil. So as we see these things coming to pass, we should know the Lord is getting ready to make a move. But you got certain people with the mindset, the Lord ain't getting ready to do nothing. We good. Live it up. All right, nigga, where your fringes at? Shut up, But the Lord is looking at your inward man. He's looking at the true spirit inside of you to see whether you're taking him serious with all of these things he's doing. Therefore, their goods shall become a booty, and their house is a desolation. All right, you sitting up there in your house, you think, hey man, the Lord gonna allow Elam, Moab, okay, those gangs taking over to come and take your shit, man. Excuse my French. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. You got these particular truthers and people, they're thinking they saving up with the Lord. If you ain't right with him, hey, you go be through. The great day of Yahweh is near, and it hastened greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry bitterly. The voice of the day of the Lord goes into these rumors. Okay? Jeremiah 51:45, my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of Yahweh. Lest your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that another year shall come a rumor, and then violence in the land, and ruler against ruler. See, violence in the land, because of lack of bread, as it says in the book of Sirach, or 2nd Esdras, right? Ruler against ruler, wars, rumors of wars. All of that is getting ready to eventually not be a rumor. It's going to, take place right before your very eyes, man. We warned you of these days, okay, where physical cash will be a thing of the past. Okay, the U.S. dollar, the U.S. system, including the Constitution that came with it, is a thing of the past that the elites want to do away with. Your civil freedoms and all of this stuff that came with America for you people, that's over.
Here's what I think is interesting. Whenever I go into certain stores and they tell me, sorry, we don't accept that type of cash. We don't accept hundreds. Okay? Many stores will not accept a $100 bill. Now, what's interesting is I went to a KFC just earlier this week, and my total came up to $98. I paid, of course, with 100. Guess what they told me? Sorry, we don't accept hundreds. I said, okay, not a problem. That's fine. I paid with 250s. Guess what they told me after I handed them 250s? Sorry, we do not take anything over a $20 bill. Yeah, it's getting to that point where stores used to take hundreds, they take 50s. Now, $20 or less is what they would accept. Yeah, they are slowly going cashless. But here's what I think is interesting. Stores don't want to accept cash. Okay? They say it increases the transaction times of customers, and that if you just pay with a card, it would be much faster and it would be more smooth. Well, I went into another store just yesterday, and they charged me $2.50 to use my debit card. Yeah, didn't matter if it's a debit card or a credit card, it was going to cost $2.50 extra.
You can watch the rest of that video
You'll be able to tell your kids where you were when the United States dollar changed forever. We just saw the last gasp of the U.S. dollar. In 20 years, you'll be able to look back at this Labor Day weekend and see the exact moment everything changed. It's historic, and not in a good way, that the U.S. economy is grinding to a halt.
I think the U.S. economy is slowing faster and in a broader sense than most people anticipated, including the Fed. And I think that the market is catching up to that possibility, which has become a probability.
Mohammed El Arian is exactly right. And it's all being controlled by a globalist cabal of elites that wants Kamala Harris elected right now. So right now, as we speak, we are watching the single biggest shift for the U.S. dollar hegemony in the past 80 years. Over the next few weeks, the plan will be put fully into action. The massive dumping of U.S. dollars flooding the market, bank collapses, job losses, which we're seeing by the millions, by the way, and skyrocketing inflation that no amount of lying will hide. I'm looking at you, Kamala Harris.
No.
So let's get into it. There are a few big pieces of news that I want to get to right now that everyone better pay attention to, and most people have been ignoring. Most of you, of course, were hard at work last week trying to provide for your families, going about your day. You certainly weren't paying attention to Fed Chief Jerome Powell up there in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Well, he dropped an economic bombshell on America. Powell admitted that the jobs market is in real trouble. Consumer spending is down, and he openly admitted that the Fed is now pivoting. Quote, "The time for pivoting our policies is upon us."
The cooling in labor market conditions is unmistakable.
So with those words, he sent gold skyrocketing to all-time highs, the U.S. dollar plunging to its lowest point of 2024 with just one sentence. All it took was one sentence. He hasn't even cut rates yet. This was just one sentence. Unbelievable. As trends forecaster Jared Salenti just told me, we are already in a recession, and the coming crash is going to be worse than anyone wants to admit.
They want to keep the people in power in power. Simple as that. They're running the show right in front of your eyes. They're going to lower interest rates and do everything they can to boost up the economy. The lower interest rates fall, the deeper the dollar declines. The dollar's only high because of the high interest rates. So again, the deeper the dollar falls, the higher gold prices go. Gold prices could go to $3,000 an ounce this year.
I mean, we can haggle over whether it's a recession or a depression, but it's already here, and it's about to get much worse. New data this week from businesses all over the United States telling the Fed that Americans can't afford shit thanks to Biden and Harris's economic policies. Quote, "Our data supports the thesis that consumer spending is paring back materially. We will start seeing significant negative impacts to our business if spending continues to decline at the current rate through the end of the year." In other words, Americans are tapped out. No savings left, huge amounts of credit card debt, no expendable income to go to the moon.
Hell. Catching hell. Ezekiel 7:19, they shall cast their silver in the streets, their gold shall be removed. And they took gold from backing the dollar. Okay? The silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them, all right, in the day of the wrath of Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither, all right, fill their bowels because of the stumbling block of their iniquity. The money, people, you know, the love of money, you know, dollar, you know, chasing the bag. Now, look, those of us that chase the spiritual bag, we're in a better position than these people, okay? Because we understand, and we're working together, okay? These people are through. Riches profit not, Proverbs 11:4, in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death. So all of this money, the bag, all right, that Jake and these people put their trust in, it was all a snare. Of course, money is a defense, as the scriptures say. You need money to take care of your, you know, but you have to have the proper mindset towards this system, this world, and what it meant, and where it's going, and what it was ultimately intended for. It's intended to snare you into this new world.
Movies, to go to the mall. Instead of getting new clothes for back to the school time, sorry kids, you'll need to wear last year's clothing. Don't believe me? Well, then believe the sales at Dollar General. The freaking dollar stores are hurting. New data out today from Dollar General shows shares crashing 26%. 26%, why? Now, the store admits that its core customer, its bread and butter, feel financially constrained. And the store is desperate. This weekend, they rolled out a 91% clearance sale to try and lure in customers into the stores. 91%, even with that 91% off, Americans still aren't shopping like they used to. So now the Fed is going to slash rates likely 4 times in the next few weeks and the next few months. 4 rate cuts. But it's too little, too late, as Jeremy Siegel says. The honeymoon is over for the Fed.
The honeymoon is over. Let's put it that way. You know, Jay Powell and Fed enjoyed this idea that, you know, we can bring inflation down, no real consequences. We can wait and wait and wait. Well,
I think he waited too long.
And you know, there isn't some magic bullet that's going to put more money into people's wallets, especially if they've lost their jobs. I mean, sure, reduce inflation would help. You know, prices about everything have gone up over 20%, even 30%. But that's not going to happen because now that Powell is slashing interest rates, the U.S. dollar will be devalued even further. Just so you understand, in the U.S., there is $6.2 trillion sitting in money market accounts. That's an all-time record. Normally, it's about $1 trillion because up until now, the U.S. dollar has been an attractive investment against other currencies, against the euro and other currencies around the world, but not anymore. As soon as Powell slashes interest rates, that money will leave those money market accounts. In other words, that's literally selling U.S. dollars. And all of this cash is going to hit the American market, making inflation far worse. But don't worry, Kamala Harris has a plan to help. Even though she's currently responsible for this disaster, she's pretending like she's not currently in power. Her plan is to print trillions more in U.S. dollars, put in place price controls, give people free housing, and tax unrealized capital gains. When her top economic advisor appeared on CNBC this week to try to explain how taxing money that you don't have would work, well, it didn't end well for him.
Well, unrealized gains, taxing unrealized gains just doesn't seem fair in any sense of the word. In the very best sense, if you are taxing unrealized gains, all you're doing is pulling forward the taxes that would be paid later when someone actually sells the stock.
I think that this reaction to unrealized gains is a little funny, given that I bet that the majority of people watching right now are already paying a tax on unrealized gains. It's called a property tax. When the value of your home goes up, that's
through. You know, but you could watch the rest of this video. I'll be back with more. Hopefully I'll edify it on to the next. Shalom.